Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to discuss the animal supplements that I use and when I use them in different phases of my off season and so forth, all right? So because I am dieting, I'm going to go through kind of what I've been using and doing currently, all right? One, we'll start with the Aminos. So I don't know why, but generally I don't like sweeter things when I'm dieting for some reason. I feel like my stomach gets a little more sensitive. During training, I generally just like to drink water. That's been more my new preference as of late. So what I end up doing is I use Animal Nitro, which are basically amino packs. These packs right here. You can do 1 to 2 packs per day, either pre-workout or post-workout, or do 2 packs post-workout. Personally, what I usually do is I usually do 1 pack, 15 minutes pre-workout, and then post-workout end up doing my whey protein shake along with my necessary carbohydrates that I need. And this is a great product. I don't have any issues with digestion. Obviously, it feels good. And now generally the consensus on, branched chain amino acids and your essential amino acids during your workout, is it gonna be something that's gonna potentially build large quantities of muscle? Not necessarily. What it really does is, especially in the caloric deficit, when you're providing the body glucogenic amino acids, your body can sustain a little greater output, might increase protein synthesis. It will increase protein synthesis during training and prime it. So when you're after your training, you might have a little greater spike. These are all things that, you supplement from an already sound nutrition plan. So it's not something that's going to replace food. It's not something that's going to be, crazy, results wise. I think people misinterpret sometimes supplementation, what it is. A supplement is designed to supplement an already sound program. And I always notice a difference with sustaining energy for longer, and I feel generally better during my workouts, specifically in a depleted state. So Animal Nitro packs have been really good. Okay, and obviously new research has shown that essential amino acids is superior pre and intra than branched chains, just because mainly the older research was mainly done on BCAAs, specifically leucine, and now new research has been using all the amino acids and comparing them both and what they both do. But that is what I use, and I like it this time around. It's been working pretty good. Now going into whey proteins, one of the things about animal whey is great is the whole broad spectrum of flavors they have. Different flavors, different strokes, different folks. But I generally am more of a traditional guy. I like the vanilla, the chocolate, and specifically chocolate chip, and regular chocolate are usually my go-tos. And what I usually end up doing is I will mix a vanilla iso whey from the universal side, which is 100% whey isolate, in with one of these. There's just personal preference. Sometimes too chocolatey for me, or I will mix it for digestibility issues. But generally animal whey, considering it's not 100% whey isolate, it is a blend of whey isolate and concentrate, digests much better than other concentrate blends that I've had in the past. One thing too, which is great, it has concentrate and whey isolate blend that's closer to 50%, where a lot of companies might put whey concentrate than whey isolate, but it's 80% whey concentrate, only 20% whey isolate. So this has a higher percent than most other comparable brands with the percent of whey isolate it has. So it does digest better. So it ends up being a little bit lower in lactose when you have more isolate, a little more tolerable to the GI people who are very sensitive, and not to mention the wide variety of flavors that it does have, so you get a lot more to choose from. Great, but post-workout I end up doing on my low carbohydrate days, which are very low carb in retrospect to my high carb days, I will do about 65 grams of protein post-workout. And then on my higher carbohydrate days, I'll bring it actually down to 40 grams of protein per post-workout. And that ends up being, basically a little less than 2 scoops. So here, just for you guys' knowledge, 1 scoop, which is 33 grams, has 25 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and we only have 4 grams of carbs. So you can see that it's a pretty good clean source for a blend. And this is one good flavor too. The other one is chocolate brownie, is pretty good as well. But these are the ones I've been currently using. I tend to, just like many people, you like to change the flavor up. Now, moving into the off season. So we have over here is Animal Meal. And Animal Meal, which is a meal replacement, a true meal replacement. It's a whole foods product. So everything in it is made from a whole foods, okay? They make a chocolate and a vanilla. And this is totally intended for a meal replacement, especially on the go. It's very versatile. You can put it in powder, bring it with you. A lot of my clients who are firemen and cops carry this in their cruiser. So if they get stuck at an overnight shift, or there's a homicide, or there's a fire and they need something on the go, they'll bring this in a shaker cup and be able to mix it with water. So I'll just give you a quick little breakdown. In 3 scoops, it's about 45 grams of carbs, 45 grams of protein, and about 15 grams of fat, which in my opinion is like practically the perfect meal. The vast majority of men I have, or clients, you know, anywhere from between average height, usually starts around that. So you can easily adjust that up or down slightly, or you could even do, if you're on a lower calorie side, if you're a female, you could do 2 scoops of this and bring the ratio down a little bit so it might match you perfect. Or if you're trying to go higher, you could do more, or do 2 scoops of this and add 1 scoop away if you're trying to limit your carbohydrates. But for the ingredients, so you guys know when we talk about whole foods, it's got pea protein for isolate, it's got egg white powder, dried whole egg protein, beef protein isolate, and then the carbs are sweet potato, pea starch, rolled oats, and olive oil powder for some of the fat. So as you can see, it's a much different than a lot of the traditional meal replacements, where there's focused on whey isolate and tons of maltodextrin and dextrose, and even fructose sometimes, which can give you a very bloated feeling and distended, and they might add a lot of MCT oils, and sometimes those can become denatured and cause upset stomach and gas. But this is very tolerable, whole foods product. It digests great. I don't feel weird after. Sometimes you get a little headache when you drink them. But I'll use this in the off season when I'm in a bind for a meal. And if someone asks me why I don't use it when I'm dieting, it's because I'm hungry and I can't wait to eat solid food to feel fuller for longer. In retrospect to back to the off season, if you're having trouble with appetite, this is something that's great. You can make into a shake as well. And of course, make it into a mash shake by blending a frozen banana in it or frozen fruit. Off season, I actually will use some of these juiced aminos. And one of my favorite flavors are strawberry limeade and grape. I love grape. It tastes like Big League Big Chew from back in the day. And this same thing again, this is your typical amino acid blend with BCAAs, and it has a few other added fun ingredients in there. You know, it's got citramalate, glutamine, etc. But this is a great product too. A lot of my clients use this, they love it. I like it, it tastes great, digests great, I don't feel strange on it. But again, for some reason this time dieting around, sweet things are not agreeing with me. It's more of a personal preference, but in the off season I do it, and my wife loves it. My wife goes through these like crazy. It must be added though, like, you know, typically when people diet, they might fill this with a gallon and then drink it all day long. When you're dieting, trying to lose body fat, you don't necessarily want to do that. Probably okay for the off season if you prefer to have something flavored in the water. But when you're dieting, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're fasting between meals, and use this pre-workout or during workout, or even you could probably do it after. But I would probably recommend doing intra-workout. Okay, but that sums it up for my current stack and what I've been using. But I like the animal whey flavors, and sometimes keep an eye out. They have seasonal flavors that come out. I remember a year back they had pumpkin and red velvet. So like you keep an eye out for those, because those come about and those end up being great, and they fly off the shelves fast. Luckily, I mean, I didn't get enough pumpkin, and they ran out when they go more, and I was like, no. But keep an eye out for those seasonal flavors. Those are great. And if you guys have any questions, please comment below.